Same questions.
Yeah, well, good luck in that proving thing.
So they just give you 2 chances to talk to him.
Aloy,
What about Tirsa then?
now that the blessing has been made, you and I finally have a moment to speak. I hope the ceremony wasn't too unpleasant for you, given your circumstances.
It means nothing. Interesting. Do we want...
My circumstances are that I'm here to win the proving, not stand around muttering Nora prayers and lighting Nora prayer lanterns.
Of course. Though it pains me that your years of isolation from the tribe have spoiled what is for us a ritual of great beauty.
Maybe isolation has given me the clearer view. A concern for results, not rituals.
Whatever your view, it is yours, and I will respect it. I imagine you must have questions.
Why was I made an outcast at birth, Tirsa?
He's not gonna
What
answer this.
crime could I have committed even before I was born?
Your mother.
Aloy, this is not a question
Or your
I can
mother
answer.
did that.
Why not? It's simple enough.
Probably both parents.
And what about my mother? Is she here tonight, watching me? Or is she dead? Is she here? Or nowhere?
I am sure your
she's
mother
gonna
is
say
here
that
with
she's
us,
everywhere.
if only in spirit.
Whoa, that's the
That's
first
not
time we
really
hear
an
that
answer, is
word.
it? Just so you know, Tirsa, the reason I'm here is to get answers. Real ones. And
They
when
are
I'm
so
in the proving,
synonymous with the words
I will
like
demand them.
of like
I
all
know,
mother and
Aloy.
the embracement of
I
the
would
nature
expect
that
nothing
words like,
less.
you know, talking or hearing words from spirits is something that they never really mention that. Because that's the kind of distinction that you make when you intentionally have created something or have a belief in something that is superstitial, you know? Something that is superficial, that just does not like fundamentally like dictate like your like view of the world, you know? Because you can make a clear distinction between that and something that is not real, you know? Something that is abnormal, you know? So that's interesting that it comes from her of all places. He's like the most holy person in this entire place that we have heard of to this point in the game. And she's the one who makes that distinction.
It surprises me the tribe lets outcasts
This game has
join
a
the
fucking
proving.
overwhelming
It's
amount
not
of
like the Nora
information,
to
by
be
the way.
so
My brain is exploding
hospitable.
with this dialogue.
It has always been law that any child outcast has this right, as a means to rejoin the tribe.
I'm sure
So far
I'm
as I
gonna
know,
understand
however,
a lot of it
you
later,
are the
but
first ever to exercise
that's a
this
really
right.
overwhelming amount of
I'm not
information.
surprised. I doubt many outcast children survive long enough in the wilds to come of age.
I think, rather, it is because child outcasts are so rare. In all my years, I've only known of one other child who was cast out. A boy of 13, who killed his mother. But at the proving 5 years later, he did not appear.
No. I'd be surprised if he survived very long on his own.
But at least he had a chance. Other tribes would have simply executed him. It may be hard for you to accept, Aloy, but the practice of shunning is, relatively speaking, humane.
Oh, is it? Try it out for 18 years, Tirsa, and then let me know what you think.
Maybe killing is the greater mercy. I mean, in our world, it's always thought to be the easy way out.
What about Rost? Why was he made an outcast?
Another one
So
we're not gonna get an
he
answer
never
on.
told you?
He
Oh,
said
wait.
he swore an oath never to speak of it.
Yes. As did I, and the other matriarchs.
Of course.
I'm sorry, Aloy, but Rost's past is another secret I must keep from you.
What else is new?
Let me guess, it's to do with her parents' like deeds, or maybe entirely just their conviction, possibly. It's to do with that for sure.
Rost told me that matriarchs don't just lead the tribe. What else do you do?
Maybe
We
Rost
teach,
is like her actual
offer
like
counsel,
uncle,
give
but
blessings.
he never told her.
When necessary, we judge. Our only concern is the welfare of the tribe. Among our number this year, we count 3 high matriarchs and some 30 lesser matriarchs.
What's the difference?
Matriarchs are grandmothers with 2 generations of living progeny. But a high matriarch is a great-grandmother with 3 or more generations to her name. Thus
All right.
do we speak for generations, lending our opinions weight. The high matriarchs most of all.
Alright then.
So,
That's a
the
simple
more
enough thing
children
to
you
understand.
have, the more authority you get? I guess that's one way to decide who leads a tribe.
Why would there be any other?
That's a damn good way to put it, though. Even in our real history, it has worked like that in these kinds of tribes for most of history. But at the same time, I mean, you have to convince your children to make their own children, and you know, it's not like you just have to go whoring around for like to create like a soccer team of 20 people, you know. Also, who is this Lansra? That was that one other. So there's 3 high matriarchs here, right? The one that was in the middle with the darker skin, wasn't that like a Kaija or Karja? How do you say that? Is it Kyra maybe? Kyra would be easier to say, but I'm just gonna say Kyra. With that like Kyra matriarch in the middle. But then again, there's only 3 high matriarch here, and there was 3 on that platform there earlier in that blessing ritual or ceremony.
Why does Lansra hate
The
me
one
so
that was
much?
on the far right
She
was
is a
Lansra.
woman of extreme opinions. More than that, I cannot say.
It's not my fault that I was born. Or that the matriarchs decided to cast me out.
I side with you in this matter. But there are differences
Interesting.
of opinion. And any vote of the high matriarchs requires a majority.
Okay. So they basically create laws and present their opinions, but then the majority of the common people
I
has to
should be
vote
going.
on them for them to actually be
I'm sorry if I've
enacted
been
upon.
too harsh. It's just,
familiar.
I've wanted answers for so long.
I know, child. You're not the only one who's waited years for this day. I will be praying for your success.
He seems to have a great amount of more compassion towards us than the other high matriarchs do.